is it the last stand for Nikki Haley?
I hope
I'm
not.
asking these questions
I hope
to
not,
you.
Whoopi, because the more she stays in, the more demented he looks. Because, right, she needs to stay there so that he can talk about her, just to annoy her.
I will be voting for Trump.
I've always said she was a flip-flopper. She couldn't be trusted. And I think this is about her future in politics with the Republican Party that is really the Trump Party.
Okay, so let's talk about Nikki Haley. Warmonger, bird brand Nikki Haley. She's learning a hard lesson. She's learning what happens when a Republican runs to the mainstream media, runs to Democrats for cover, for help, to trash Trump, to talk crap about Trump. And when they're no longer useful, they're thrown out like hot garbage. And I have no sympathy for her. So she's being trashed. She's being rejected by the media because she finally endorsed Trump. She dropped out of the race months ago. And even before she dropped out for months, it was obvious to everybody that she had no chance at victory. There was no pathway for victory. But she stayed in. Who knows what the F she was doing? Was she trying to solicit some type of concession from Trump? Maybe she wanted Trump to adopt her warmonger point of view. She wanted to say, look, before I endorse you, I need you to guarantee me that you're going to keep the funding going on in Ukraine. You're going to keep antagonizing China and all of that. Or maybe she just wanted that VP slot. She was trying to say, look, if you want my voters, maybe you should pick me to be your VP. Maybe that was her agenda, but who knows? Who cares? She's really not that important in the larger scheme of the Republican Party. But this is a funny story about yet another Republican finding out what it's like to kiss a Democrat's ass only to be rejected later. The media loved her because she was being anti-Trump. They defended her. They praised her. They said, oh, you go, girl. Let's take a look at all of this crap that she talked about Trump.
Chaos follows him. And we can't have a country in disarray and a world on fire and go through 4 more years of chaos. We won't survive it.
He is unhinged. He is more diminished. The most harm he's ever possibly had is getting hit by a golf ball when he's sitting in a golf cart.
Donald Trump cannot win a general election.
You've got Donald Trump, who put us $8 trillion in debt, more than any other president.
The reason that America keeps losing is because of Donald Trump.
Many of the same politicians who now publicly embrace Trump privately dread him. They're just too afraid to say it out loud.
So we saw a clip at the beginning of this video about the media pumping her up, talking about how she's doing a good job. So let's take a look at another video kind of praising her, giving her false platitudes.
That's right, Savannah. She's effectively saying, I'm not going to endorse you yet, quoting Margaret Thatcher to say, don't follow the crowd, make up your own mind. Really powerful words there. To your point.
So she thought the media actually liked her. She thought she was a new media darling. She ran to them for cover. So when Vivek was challenging her, destroying her during those debates, when Vivek called her out for being a warmonger, when he called her out for being Dick Cheney in high heels, instead of addressing the issue, instead of talking with substance, she just ran to the media and said, oh, he's sexist. The media defended her and said, yeah, Vivek is just sexist. That's all it's about. She also talked all this crap. Oh, TikTok is such an evil app. The Chinese Communist Party, they're trying to infiltrate the states. We need to get rid of it. It's such a terrible thing. And nobody should be using it. Vivek said, well, you talk all this crap, but your own daughter's on TikTok. Your own adult daughter is on TikTok. She didn't address the issue. She took her daughter, her grown-ass daughter, ran to the Democrat media for sympathy. Let's take a look at these clips.
How did you feel when Vivek Ramaswamy brought you into the debate talking about that you were a TikTok user?
I mean, I felt like it was unnecessary. I feel like it's a kind of a people know not to bring kids into a situation, and so I felt like it was kind of uncalled for. But
And you know, she's the least political member of our family. And so since whenever I've run before, Michael's always been that person in debates that gives me good energy, that I look to, that gives me the smile.
And arguing that what we saw just then was the sort of juvenile display that people think Vivek encompasses. And that while he says, Dick Cheney in heels, the reality is he doesn't have the gravitas that right now this country needs as we talk about strength mattering and deterrence mattering. Behind that requires a strength, an experience, and a gravitas that perhaps he doesn't have that Nikki Haley seemed to call out a bit.
That's right. I think he was going after the soundbite, and clearly we were playing it. But ironically, the one son of immigrants and minority on the stage who preaches that identity politics is not what we need to do, he went there with one of his own colleagues. We know already that gender dynamics, should not be used as a weapon. Now we know that heels are for ammunition and not for fashion. So at least the record is straight on that. But it's this served Nikki so well. She now is seen as a fighter. She was ready to fight for her daughter and represent many of us women that whether it is in the workplace, in a boardroom, or in a debate stage, many times get judged over our looks, and she stood above that. So I actually appreciate, ironically, that very low moment on Vivek, because we got to see a different side of Nikki Haley that I think the country is appreciating today.
So now she's thrown out like hot garbage because she endorsed Trump. These people never liked her. She thought that the media was on her side every time she had some type of tough moment in a campaign. She can say, oh, they're being sexist. Oh, they just don't like me because I'm a woman. She was getting all the praise from the media for being anti-Trump. The moment she endorsed Trump, the media said, you're no longer useful to us. You were our useful idiot before, but now we don't need you. So here it comes. Let's take a look at a couple of clips of them trashing her.
And for many Republicans, it's shown that the principles that they very loudly proclaimed are not, in fact, core principles for them. Nikki Haley, in saying that she couldn't vote for Trump, that she would vote for Trump because Biden was, quote unquote, a catastrophe. That's the template that we've seen followed by many other public critics of Trump.
I just think this really puts on full display for the American people how spineless the Republican Party is today, how they've completely rolled over and are now behind and backing Donald Trump, when all of these, from Sununu to Nikki Haley, have had great, massive objections about Donald Trump, from the $8 trillion he's added to the debt, to the chaos, as she would describe it, that he perpetuated as president, from domestic policy to foreign policy. Now, all of a sudden, we just delete on that. We hit delete on that. She expects the American people to forget that she actually said that. I think that her voters aren't, to your point earlier, those aren't her voters. I think those voters are in pure objection to where the Republican Party is today. They're disgusted by Donald Trump. They wanted an alternative. She represented that alternative. Now that she's out of it, I think those folks don't go back to the Republican Party.
So so these idiot Republicans, they always do this. They get some clout from the media for being anti-Trump, and they're quickly tossed aside when they are no longer useful. One of the most notable ones, we had Liz Cheney, daughter of Dick Cheney, super warmonger Dick Cheney. She was in Congress for some years, and she spent all of her time in Congress not trying to make the country better, not looking out for her district. She spent all of her time trashing Trump, trying to oppose Trump, being a full-blown rhino, constantly running the CNN, constantly running the ABC. If you guys need a quote-unquote Republican to trash Trump, just bring me on. So she spent all her time doing that. In a moment, she was no longer useful to the Democrat Party. They tossed her out. We haven't heard from her since. Where the hell is she? She was maybe hoping for a job whenever she left Congress. Maybe CNN or somebody will hire her as an anchor. They don't need her. You did your job. You were the useful idiot, rhino Republican trashing Trump. Now we don't need you. We'll find another one. So these Democrats, they always like to find their token Republicans. And we're going to look at another token Republican. We're going to look at a clip from The View, because The View, they are also coping with this. They were praising Haley. They were kissing her ass, talking about, oh, you go, girl, you're doing such a great job, during all those months when Haley was trashing Trump. Even a token Republican, she like, yeah, I fully support Haley because she's another rhino just like Haley. But now let's take a look at these cackling hens on The View coping with what happened.
I don't know. Now, see, we're all saying, wow, ooh.
But I don't know why anybody believed her when she said that that's what she was, because we've been saying this, she kind of does that thing when you pull in a fish and the fish is like this trying to get something.
You mean like a flip-flop? Like a flip-flop?
Look, in a funny way, yeah.
Flip-flop, 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 flip-flop.
You know, I don't know why anybody listens anymore, because she's not consistent. None of them are, except you.
So I'll say,
you're the only consistent. You're it.
Would you like to weigh in? Thank you for acknowledging my consistency.
You're the only consistent person I know from the other side.
I am disappointed, but I'm not surprised. I lost all faith in politicians quite some time ago. And listen, maybe I'm being petty, but if someone attacked my intelligence, my family, my marriage, and American democracy, I probably wouldn't then go back and support them, and the military. Listen, Haley voters feel betrayed. Quick scan of her Instagram comments on this post itself, and it was just, we feel betrayed by you. You told us why we should be fearful of him, and now you flipped on it. I am not convinced these 150,000 people who turned out in suburban Pennsylvania to cast a protest vote for her are going to go to Trump because she's supporting him. I think they were always more never Trump than she is, and I think it's time for Biden to engage them. He did one ad, but he needs to be calling Adam Kinzinger, Liz Cheney. He needs to be running those ads in swing states saying, Donald Trump said he doesn't want Nikki Haley voters. I want Nikki Haley voters. And listen, this is political expediency. It's pathetic. It's cowardly. And she did not help Donald Trump, but she damaged herself, honestly, irreparably.
So they got this alleged Republican, whatever the hell her name is, this alleged Republican on here. And she's just another Democrat ass kisser. She actually got the job. Liz Cheney wanted a job like this, but she actually got the job. And she's a token Republican on the show. She knows that she has to stay in line. In order to continue to be useful for the Democrats, you have to stay in line. Nikki Haley got out of line by endorsing Trump. This lady on The View, she continues to be a rhino, continues to trash Trump, because the moment she actually says something against the Democrat Party, her paycheck is gone. So she has completely rejected all her morals, all of her views, how she really feels, in order to get that job. So Haley has been thrown out like old smelly garbage. She's done tremendous damage. She's trying to backtrack now, trying to say, oh, I'm supporting Trump, because she's looking at 2028. She's hoping she can run for president when Trump's out of the picture in 2028. She's hoping she can run for president on the Republican side. It's not going to happen. The damage is done. You spent all of these months being a rhino, helping the Democrat Party, helping Joe Biden. Oh, Trump is so terrible. Trump is full of chaos. We can't win because of Trump. You kissed the Democrats' asses. You kissed the media's ass. It's too late. So any 2028 ambition she had is a wrap. Good luck with that, Nikki Haley. Let me know what you guys think. Share the video. Thanks for watching.